Hey, it's Daniela, and today's April 24th for another day of VEDA. I hope y'all are doing well. Today's actually my uncle's birthday, so hope he's having a good birthday. I doubt he will see this. It's again really pretty outside. It is spring. I went to church this morning with my parents and my boyfriend, and then my parents and I went to lunch, and now I'm just kind of hanging out. I'll probably read a little bit, so I'm out in the yard. This planter over here, I think you can see it, with the purple flowers. Yeah, let's take another look. I actually painted that when I was in preschool, over 20 years ago. My mom still has it, which is still kind of nice. So the book I'm currently reading is this right here. It's Stephen King's memoirish book called On Writing, and it's kind of been described as a mix of memoir and like a writing guide. It does read more memoir-ish, but I like it so far. I've never read anything by Stephen King before, and I minored in creative writing in college, and I really enjoyed it. That was like my creative writing phase. But since graduating, I don't really write so much, at least definitely not fiction. I do sometimes do blog posts on Tumblr, but not a whole lot of writing like I used to do. But I had heard about this book and some other ones like, oh, if you're going to get into writing, these are definitely books that you should read. And one day I was at the library going around the nonfiction section and I saw it and I was like, oh, I should check this out. But then I had it out for a couple weeks, this and another book, because I was reading Enrica's Journey, also nonfiction, which I mentioned in an earlier video. And so I was kind of working on that. And I kind of have this goal where I love to read, and I have read quite a few books, and I also will write book reviews for some of them and put them on Tumblr. And I was kind of skimming through those authors, and most of them are white guys, which is fine, like they are well-written books. But there's also a lot of books that are written by women and are written by non-white people that are also really good. And so I kind of have this goal to read more books by people who aren't just old white guys, to kind of expand things a little bit and give also other talented writers a chance that I might not otherwise just think of. Because there's definitely, like, if you're just thinking of, oh, I should read that book, or I haven't read this book, you already kind of have a pretty good idea. Like, I'm sure most people have heard of a lot of authors like Stephen King or Neil Gaiman or J.R. Tolkien. You know, when you think of, like, oh, here's this classic book that you should read, it's usually written by white male authors, which is fine. Like, they're well-written books. I'm not going to cut them out. But I want to add some variety there. So that's why I had been focusing on Enrica's Journey. The theme itself interested me anyway, and then the author was written by a woman. And then I actually have the book, I Am Balala, which I am really excited about reading, and I definitely want to read that. And my other library book that I have out is short stories by James Baldwin, which I like, but since they're short stories, you know, I can take my time with those. But since this is a library book, and I've had it out for a while, and I actually, the last time or two that it came up to be returned, I tried to renew it, but I couldn't because somebody had requested it, and so I live about 40 minutes away, so it's not like I could just pop off to the library and return it, so I built up some fines. But then when I checked Thursday or Friday this week, the request hold kind of was taken away, so I assume, hopefully, that the person got another copy of the book. So I was able to renew it, and finally started reading it this weekend. It's due again on Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's been requested again. I'll try and renew it, but I need to read this and get this finished. Again, I really like it so far. I like the writing. I love reading memoirs. And the first section has kind of been, he focused on like snippets of his life, which the purpose wasn't so much to say, oh, here's a memoir of my childhood, but here are moments that happened in my childhood which kind of built me as the person that eventually, for whom writing was important. And then the second section is called On Writing or the Craft of Writing or something like that. So I think it's going to focus more on writing as a craft, but still telling it through the lens of memoir, if that makes sense. So again, I really enjoy it so far. In general, I like memoir. Memoir writing was actually my favorite class as a creative writing minor. But since I did buy Mr. Fahrenheit yesterday. It's in my video. I kind of really want to start reading that too, even though I do want to read I Am Malala, but Mike Martin, he gets really excited when people on Tumblr will say like, oh, I got your new book, I'm going to read your new book, and he just gets like really excited about it, and I would just really want to read his book and tell him how I liked it. So we'll see what I get to first after this. But yeah, that's my video for today. I'll probably read a bit more of on writing when I finish and get this uploaded, and maybe one of you will be inspired to give it a try too. So, that's my video for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios!